Hey guys, I'm really excited. I'm here in New York and we're doing an interview with Jeannine Kaspar. So Jeannine,
Hi.
so thrilled for you to be here on the program. So tell me, you grew up in a family of 9.
I did.
So what was that like and how did that actually shape your life and career?
Chaos. It was amazing. It still is amazing. I have 5 brothers and 3 sisters, and I love them all dearly. Holidays were just so much fun. So much fun. I loved it.
What actually inspired you to be an actress?
Oh, boy.
I'm sure you get asked this a lot.
I do. I didn't want to do it as a child. I didn't really quite know what it was, although I did have a teacher write in my yearbook. I found this recently. She said, "You are the most dramatic student I've ever had." She did say that.
Is that a positive thing?
Yeah, I think it was said with an exclamation point and a smiley face, at least in my book.
So what was it like working with Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man?
Oh my gosh, that was one of my first big movie roles, and he is just the nicest guy. I mean, he was just lovely to work with, and he was so funny. He would improv a little bit with us, wink, wink, like when we were with some of the lines that made it into the movie. I was just surprised. More like, I wouldn't say surprised because he's such a fantastic actor. He's one of the best we have. But more just, I don't know, happy to be working with him.
Do you find some of the actors that have been out there that have already got really successful careers and things, do they try and mentor younger actors as well and people that are still climbing the ladder of success in that field?
Well, I would say definitely in terms of on set, I learn a lot from them, watching them. So in a way, it's kind of along the lines of what you're saying, because I learn a lot from just seeing how they interact with other people, how they, for example, with Julianne, I watched her flow in and out of character, deal with people on set in the most beautifully, loving and teamwork-esque kind of way, and then get right back into character. She was playing a woman who was dying of cancer.
Wow.
So it was a really heavy, emotional scene for her, and it was just, I was so surprised, when I got to set for the first day with her, that she even, she's in her skull, she's bald, in the hospital bed, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Julie," and she takes my hand, I'm like, "Hi," and she's like, "Oh, you're in heels, but you're not going to see your shoes in the shot." She was like, "I want to get you your flats, like some sneakers. Do you have sneakers?" And I'm like, "Thank
Wow,
you."
that's really humble. That they can do that.
She's just a beautiful person. She really is.
That's amazing. So you've already been singled out as the one to watch in Hollywood, which that's a huge thing for you. So,
Thank you.
And you've already created one of your own films. So, what sort of direction are you taking?
Gosh, right now, I just got to do a couple of awesome TV shows on Fox, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the reboot on Fox, and it's just the 2 leads are phenomenal. The chemistry is off the charts. They're so funny together. And I was just on Gotham, which is, I don't know if you know what Gotham is. It's an amazing, huge show about the originations of Batman and the whole thing. So that was really fun. And right now I'm just, I'm waiting to see what happens next. I'm auditioning a lot, reading a lot of amazing scripts, and we'll see. I have a couple of festivals that are looking at a film of mine, so.
In your upcoming film, Supermoto, you play the role of a badass. So what can we expect from that movie when it hits the cinemas?
It's one of the most daring roles I've ever played. I faced pretty much every fear imaginable. I don't want to ruin the story and tell you everything right now. Otherwise, you won't be as shocked when you actually see it. But she becomes a badass. I think that she starts out as just another woman who is going through something really, really hard. Not to say just another, but she's going through one of the most difficult moments I think she'll ever face in her entire life. And she makes the choice to be her own hero. And that, for me, is there's a lot of power in that. She's facing a lot of big life choices. Some of them aren't her own, and she basically decides, you know what? Screw the way life used to be. This is what my life is going to be now, and I'm not going to put up with what I used to put up with. So
Fantastic.
she reinvents herself.
So tell us about you doing your own stunts.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise does his own stunts. You do your own stunts, so tell us about that.
Well, let's see here. One day I got to set and they're like, okay, this is the horse that you're riding. And I'm like, okay. And there's a woman on that horse. I thought I was supposed to be riding with a man in the saddle. And they're like, no, now you're going to ride behind the saddle on the horse's butt. And I'm like, what? And so I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll do this. It's fine. It's good. So I get on the horse and I'm like, dum, dum, I'm bouncing, just bouncing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to fly off. I'm going to fly off this horse. And I'm like, okay, stop for a second. I just need a breather. I'm like, get off the horse. I'm like, guys, I don't want to fall off this thing. Like, what's going on? I thought I was riding on the saddle. And they said, no, everything changed. It's not how we're doing it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I was like, they're like, well, if you get into a gallop, you won't bounce as much. So I was like, before we're going to go on a gallop with no saddle,
wow.
And I'm literally like hanging on for dear life on like kind of like the edges of the back of the saddle. Let me just go hang out with the horse for a minute. Like, this horse doesn't know me. I just got here. Meanwhile, the trainer's like, what is she doing? But you know what? It's fine. So literally, I'm like, listen, Mr. Horse. I'm like, my name's Jeannine.
Did you say Mr. Ed?
I'm just kidding. So I just literally, I was like, let me just take a moment just to say hello to the animal, give him a treat, just so he knows that I exist, that I'm not here to hurt him. Whether or not it actually made anything any better, to me, it felt better to know that, like, hi, I'm a human being that's, you know. So I got back on the horse, and we got into a gallop, and I survived.
That's pretty amazing, because I know some of your background that you actually broke. Was it your back or
my neck?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I think I wonder if you're the first person to ask me that in an interview.
Wow.
You might be the first person.
And then you went and did all your own stunts.
Right.
And the motorcycle movie.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, you obviously had to overcome a huge amount of anxiety and fear, and you know, to get back on the horse, as you say, after such a major injury.
Yeah, I definitely did, and you know, and still do. I think ultimately you can have all of those feelings, anxiety, fear, so forth, but the overriding thing needs to be a sense of courage, because I don't feel that there is any such thing as no fear. It just doesn't really exist, really. So the idea of courage is what really gets me through.
You know, what message do you hope to deliver from what you do to inspire other women?
I would say that don't be afraid of your feelings, that it's okay to feel the way that you do, and know that you're not the only one that feels that way. And if anything, just know that the most power you can have comes from you, and to find how can you have that courage to get through whatever it is that you're feeling, whether it be fear or anxiety or whatnot. What will it take to give you that courage?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Oh my gosh. Get back to you. I hope to be on a show that I love, doing more movies. Maybe have a couple more dogs. You know, Teddy needs a roommate. Teddy's my dog. You met. He's just the cutest thing ever. I don't know. I want to do more work with some charities here in New York. There's one in particular that works with kids in Hell's Kitchen and helps them with after-school projects as well as artistic programs, theater programs. So,
what piece of advice would you give other women that are trying to get ahead in life, trying to perhaps go after their dreams or career? You know, what advice would you give them based on your success? And that's come from a lot of hard work on your behalf. Mm-hmm. If there was something that would help them fast track that process, what advice would you give them?
Be your own hero. It starts with you. It doesn't matter really if the person sitting next to you or the person across the table from you or your mother or your father or your sister or your best friend believes in you. It's about you believing in you. It starts with you. Go forward from there and put a lot of hard work into it, because usually that's what it takes.